What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be doing an explanation of, well, not really an explanation, but just the general overview of ghostricks, and then I'll do a video on the different ghostrick builds that I have. Right now I'm just going to be showing you the different ghostrick cards that are coming out in Shadow Spectors as of now in the OCG, because it came out on the 20th of this month. So the first card in the set is Ghostrick Stein, and it says it cannot be normal summon unless you control a Ghostrick monster, but it can be normal set. And once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add one Ghostrick spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Ghostrick Stein once per turn. The spells and traps that he can search are Ghostrick House, which is the field spell, and the two traps Ghostrick Out and Ghostrick Panic. Now, for him to search them, Ghostrick Out, actually, let's start with Ghostrick House, sorry. Ghostrick House is the field spell. It says, face down monsters cannot be targeted for attacks. If the only monsters a player controls are face down, their opponent's monsters can attack them directly. Half any battle damage from monsters except Ghostrick monsters, or effect damage either player takes. So, if I had this on the field and all your monsters were face down and I had all my Ghostricks on the field, I could just hit you directly, and then in the main phase 2, just flip them all face down and wait to do it again. It's really, really good as soon as you can get it out, because no matter what, all the damage you take is going to be halved, which is really nice because Ghostricks aren't above the highest attack Ghostrick we have is Stein. He is at 16. The next card Stein can search is called Ghostrick Out. It says reveal one Ghostrick monster in your hand for the rest of this turn. Ghostrick cards and face down defense position monsters you control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So if I had a few face downs, doesn't really matter what they are, and I also had anything really in general. If I had a Ghostrick on the field and someone tried to dark hole me, I could chain, show them a Ghostrick card in my hand, and then all of their monsters would be destroyed and mine would stay on the field. The next card Stein can search is Panic. It says target any number of face down defense position monsters you control. Change them to face up defense position. Then change face up monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position up to the number of Ghostrick monsters flipped face up by this effect. Now, if I had 2 or 3 Ghostrick monsters face down and I had a non-Ghostrick monster face down and I flipped it up, I can only flip 3 of his monsters face down due to the card's effect. The next monster in the set is Ghostrick Jinganchi. It says cannot be normal summoned unless you control obviously a Ghostrick monster, but can be set. And once per turn, you can also flip this card down to face down defense position. It says when this card is flipped face up, you can add one Ghostrick monster from your deck to your hand whose level is less than or equal to the number of Ghostrick monsters you control. You can only use the effect of Ghostrick Jinganchi once per turn. So if you had your opponent attack your Jinganchi during the battle phase, he flips face up, you can search Shadow Spectors, and when he is destroyed, you can do other things because of the 2 level 1 monsters we have. The next card, and I'll explain that once I get to him. In the next card we have is Ghostrick Witch, and it says obviously it's the same as all the other cards. Can't be normal summoned unless you have a Ghostrick, but it can be, once per turn flip face down. Her other effect is once per turn you can target one face up monster your opponent controls and changes that to face down defense position. So again, this is really good combination with Ghostrick House. If you already have House on the field and your opponent only has 1 monster, you can flip this. You can use her effect to flip it face down and attack. And of course, what's really nice is you can flip them all face up 1 turn and then flip them all face down during the same turn. The next card we have is Ghostrick Snow Maiden, or originally known as Yuki Oni, the ghost of the Ghostrick. And of course they have the same effect as the other ones. Normal summon unless you have a Ghostrick, but once per turn you can flip it face down. It says when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can change the monster that destroyed it to face down defense position that monster's battle position cannot be changed. It is really good early game, but this card is also one of the weakest ghostrick monsters we have that is coming out in Shadow Spectors, just because you have to get it run over, and a lot of decks right now are just popping things without even blinking an eye. So it can be hard to get her destroyed and get your targets face down, but when you do, it's really good and it's really handy. Next card is Ghostrick Lantern, same effect as all the others, and it says when an opponent's monster attacks you directly or targets a Ghostrick monster you control for an attack, target the attacking monster and negate the attack. And if you do, special summon this card from your hand in face down defense position. Again, it works really well with Ghostrick House because even though all your monsters are flip face down and you have them on the field, you could still be attacked directly, and Ghostrick Lantern stops that, and it's really nice. So with Jinganchi, you can search Lantern or Spectre. Spectre is when a Ghostrick monster is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand in face down defense position and draw one. So the best way to do this is when Jinganchi is being targeted in battle. Right when it flips, you search Spectre, and when it's destroyed, you special summon Spectre face down and you draw one. So that's really, really nice. The Exceed we also have coming out with the Ghostrick set is Ghostrick Alucard, and yes, Ghostrick Alucard is Dracula spelled backwards. And it is 2 level 3 monsters. It's just a generic rank 3, which is really nice. And a lot of people tech Tour Guide in Ghostrick decks just for Ghostrick Alucard's effect, and a lot of decks are teching this anyway, just because of how easy and accessible this is. It says your opponent cannot target other Ghostrick monsters or face down monsters for attacks. Again, this is really good tech in a lot of other decks because this is the only card that can be targeted if you have face down defense position monsters. So you can detach one Exceed from this card, then target one set card your opponent controls. Destroy that target. You can only use the effect of Ghostrick Alucard once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one other Ghostrick card in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. So you can't target Alucard itself unless you have another one in the graveyard. But a really good lockout is have Alucard out, use its effect on the first one, and then special summon another one because it says you cannot target other Ghostrick monsters or face down monsters for attacks. So if you have 2 Ghostrick Alucards on the field, you can't declare attack on either one of them because the card specifically says you can't target other Ghostrick monsters. So it's kind of a lockout, but obviously Dark Hole gets around it, Solemn Warning gets around it, Solemn Judgment, etc., etc., etc. So those are the Ghostrick cards that are coming out in Shadow Spectors, and I will post another video soon about the deck profiles on my different variations of Ghostricks. Rate, comment, subscribe, all the goody two stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.